Thank you for watching my video, Charlie. I enjoyed making it, almost as much as I enjoyed making this one. In this video, I will be clarifying some of my previous points, as well as responding to some very valid points that MoistCritical brought up.
It was your mistake, buddy! Fucking Spez wasn't behind you massaging your shoulders as you signed the deal with $1 Million Fan Show, which—
I moved too quickly. I didn't verify enough stuff. I didn't take responsibility that I should have as the top moderator of a major subreddit. This was my fault. And because of that, I got in a way that was probably justified in retrospect, but that's from my perspective. What about from the company's perspective? A company should be responsible for every aspect of its business. A company should take actions to maximize its success and minimize its failures. And playing the blame game for that doesn't work. It doesn't matter that it's my fault because the company still suffers the negative consequences anyway. They suffer the reputational damage, they suffer some of the liability, they suffer the harm to its users. Most of the bad things that come about as a result of my mistake don't affect me, they affect Reddit. As such, a company ought take actions to minimize such harm or mistakes because they're the ones with the $50 billion company on the line, not me. I get to walk out of this with a laugh and some viral attention, which I clearly brought onto myself. I mean, I wouldn't have made a public video otherwise, although I wasn't quite expecting things to get this big.
And even if you did have access to lawyers and other brand deals, it wouldn't have prevented something like this from happening.
It would have helped because if there was a whole pipeline and process, I would have gone through those processes, and then the vetting would have been done by Reddit itself, not me.
Anyone who has ever visited LSF in the last, 7 years will tell you it is not a subreddit for crazy, wacky clips of gaming and, stream fails or anything like that.
Your description of LSF is correct. Lately, there's been a lot of political drama that has pushed out other content. It's been such a big issue that I've been trying to think of solutions for months. But your response to me doesn't really make any sense. Let's use an example to explain why. Let's say I were to claim, I want to add more gaming clips to LSF. And someone were to respond to me by saying, what do you mean more gaming clips? LSF doesn't have any gaming clips. Well, my response to that response would be, yeah, you're right. That's why I want to add more gaming clips. You have noticed the problem. I have noticed the problem, and I want to take an action to fix it. Now, would clips from a live stream reality TV show do well in LSF, or would they just get downvoted into oblivion? I'm not really sure, but I don't think the topic is so far off or so crazy that it would be impossible for these types of clips to do well. It's worth it to try.
Obviously, things would already be being clipped and posted on the LSF subreddit. Why would you be reaching out about a collaboration to ensure that happens when you know for a fact it already would?
You are partially right. Some clips would get posted. Some might even do well. But you would be surprised at how little clips get posted to LSF for how large of a subreddit it is. I counted, and as of this exact moment, there were 40 clips posted to LSF in the last 24 hours. That's not that many. My theory is, what if a dedicated editing team, or hell, one guy, spent full time trying to find good clips, titling them correctly, and posting them to LSF? Could one guy find and edit 40 clips a day for a week and then post them to LSF, outnumbering all of the rest of the users combined? Maybe. That is, of course, a very extreme example to demonstrate a point. A better number would be more like 4 a day. And what's 4 divided by 40? Well, that's 10%. I think that would be noticeable.
Why, though? LSF best clip is just the best clip from the event. Why does LSF's name need to be attached to it? I just don't even get this stretch goal here.
Let me pitch you the idea more directly, because I think it could be very funny. I don't mean a couple people find the best clips that happen on the show. Instead, I mean that there would be a timed competition where streamers compete to create clips on the fly, post them to LSF, and whoever could farm the subreddit the best wins. Let me brainstorm a couple examples to show why this could be very funny. What if Extra Emily purposely runs a red light and crashes a car? What if somebody gets a shot collar while wearing a Che Guevara t-shirt and then shocks somebody who's wearing a dog furry outfit? Heck, put them together. Extra Emily crashes a car into the furry. And I think streamers could come up with some ideas that are a lot more than the ones that I just did.
Who got a refund? I haven't seen anyone, posting receipts of getting a refund from the money they spent on this. Where are you getting that information from? That's a genuine question.
Regarding the $1 million fan situation, I realize that I clearly don't have all the information, so I don't want to comment on it that much. That being said, I did have a new piece of information available to show. The company has given me a redacted and time-stamped refund that you can see right here. Additionally, they say this is all they can provide right now, given user privacy laws.
It's not that nobody notices, it's that nobody's happy about it, where they can hide certain things or boost certain things. That's a bad thing. Everyone knows that it exists, and everyone knows that there is actual power in that. I don't think anyone actually disputes that.
Hey, I'm glad it's obvious to you too, but when I said Reddit moderators have power in my deadpan moderator voice, a lot of people made fun of me for it. But perhaps the perception of the egotistical Reddit moderator who looks funny and takes his unpaid janitorial duties way too seriously was too much for people to look past, and they couldn't see the truth of the matter. I'm not happy about it either. That is in fact exactly why I made these videos. People who are looking at me in horror or laughter or pity should ask themselves what that says about the $50 billion platform that is Reddit. Take every insult that you have against me about how I'm incompetent, about how I'm biased, egotistical, power hungry, etc., all that, and ask yourself, how does that make you feel about Reddit, knowing that I was able to control one of the top subreddits on the platform for over a year with borderline dictatorial powers, doing who knows what that you'll never find out about, and then realize I am the bull in the china shop. I'm telling you these things directly. Forget about me. Think about all the other subreddits that exist. Think about how you have no idea who they are, what they're doing, and every time somebody like me gives you a peek under the curtain, society gawks at the insanity of all of it.
You are a moderator in a subreddit. Why are you chasing down brand partnerships and collaborations, buddy?
I mean, you're an influencer with a platform. Why do you do it? You could say personal enrichment, but you don't strike me as somebody who's completely motivated by money. I could imagine you doing a brand deal or partnership, not for money, but just with a group that you think is cool for your community. Or maybe you just want to. And Reddit is a platform, like any other platform, and moderators are in charge of it. I know this is rare and nobody does this stuff. That's my entire point. Reddit as a platform is underutilized. So just like you might utilize your platform, why can't moderators? You brought up examples of conflicts of interest. Well, let's do the same thing again. What do you do about conflicts of interest? A company could work with you, and you could also be incentivized to, not say something bad about them or cover some drama involving them. The reality is, conflicts of interest are everywhere in life. It's good to be aware of them. It's good to minimize risks associated with them. But I don't see why Reddit is so sacrosanct of a platform that it's different from any other platforms where conflicts of interest exist. I guess for Reddit moderators, we're representing other people. We don't truly own the platform, so maybe it's more important for us to be unbiased compared to other platforms, I guess. But man, if we're worried about bias, I can promise you that there are way bigger fish to fry in terms of how biased moderators are allowed to be, that I'm not sure that brand deals for community events is really the biggest danger out there. But sure, it's something to look out for.
There are no qualifications to be a Reddit mod.
You're right. There aren't any qualifications. But maybe there should be. Maybe because there are no such qualifications, this is why we're seeing all the problems that we see. It seems like you're trying to have this every way past Sunday without realizing that the premises that you've agreed to lead to a conclusion. These facts that we have agreed on are that Reddit is a $50 billion company that moderators have power over. Maybe not as much power as an overly invested, egotistical power mod as myself might like to believe, but power nonetheless. And most Reddit moderators are completely unqualified, biased, power hungry, and are doing a bad job, and Reddit isn't doing anything to fix it. Maybe it should. As for me, I'm out of ideas. My solutions are bad and didn't work. But I see a problem, I see the effect it has, and I don't know how to fix it. So if anybody else has any idea about how to fix this, please say so. You might be surprised as to who listens. Thank you.